come to the hard way. Mick?
Again, another great Jericho moment.
Maybe, I don't know. That's odd. I guess there's not too much news to talk about this week. There's some interesting news. Not a lot's really gone on, but...
Well, the news segment is now called Let Me Tell You Something, Brother.
I guess it should be. We were just talking about that. It's basically, I don't think there's been too much going on. I mean, Edge and Ric Flair, we'll start that off. Not Ric Flair.
Edge and Christian?
Edge and Chris Benoit himself is a member of the Four Horsemen, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's not Benoit, it's the second generation Horseman, if you want to call him that, I guess.
Well, they were, because after Ole, they got Barry Windham.
Right. And it's Windham, Tully Blanchard, Arn, Flair, and J.J. Dillon. Which is the Five Horsemen. Which,
I made the joke that Tully Blanchard, I guess they get money with the Legends contract.
I think they do.
Tully Blanchard's all go to cocaine, and or as soon as they give him the ring, he'll be in the back like, how much is this worth? So I can get some coke. But no, I thought it was kind of weird they put, because none of the other teams or anyone else that went in, they're like, it's this time frame, so
this team, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that they did that, and Lex Luger did an interview, and they asked him if he felt slighted by not being inducted in, and he said that, not really, because Barry Windham and his dad are in bad health, and that'll help them out, and he said that he was just honored being in the original Horsemen, he doesn't need, like, to get a Hall of Fame ring out of it, and basically talked about, they asked him the thing about, them just putting certain people in, and he said that WWE's really smart, and there's probably a reason behind it. Chris Benoit.
I think we know the reason behind that one.
But it's kind of weird because other guys that may not ever make it into the Hall of Fame...
Well, technically, would you say that Barry Windham is in the Hall of Fame? Or is it just the group that he was a part of? I mean, what I just mentioned to you before is it that he can now say he's WWE Hall of Famer, Barry Windham, or is that he is Barry Windham part of the WWE Hall of Fame team of Four Horsemen?
Apparently,
is there a difference?
I think they're going to give them all... Well, it's like LOD when they went in. If Hawk would have been alive...
But they weren't LOD. They were technically this... Were they as the group?
It was LOD, but Hawk
Mine
Animal,
Straws,
wasn't
the LOD 2000.
But
WWE pulls strings however they feel like and how they want to do it, and I don't like it. I kind of wish you'd just come forward and say it was this kind of group from this time period.
They are advertising Flair for the Hall of Fame,
right?
But apparently, nothing's been talked about. No one's talked to Flair. No one's talked to TNA. I know that they were talked about doing the Horsemen last year, but when Flair re-signed with TNA, they're like, we can't do it, and TNA wouldn't let him go, but they told him that he could do it next year since it was in Florida. So if they hold to that,
WWE likes to pretend that TNA doesn't exist, because when Booker T started wrestling again recently, they said it was the first time he's wrestled in 5.5 years or something like that. So you got to think maybe that's just. They're inviting Flair just to imply that he's not somewhere else wrestling.
There's two ways.
Retired.
There's two ways you can look at it. TNA. A lot of people were like, TNA would be dumb to let Flair do that because of the fact
I would say it's dumb.
Or it could be smart because then they can advertise like there's a TNA guy on WWE.
Yeah, but they can't come out and say that.
Why can't they?
They can't. They can't. I don't think they can legally. WWE's legal department be all over.
Come on. Every time somebody comes in, they always are like, this was so-and-so.
That's true.
Like when Anderson came in, this was Mr. Anderson from WWE.
I think that the more, maybe a slightly different interesting news is, do you think Edge deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, he's held more titles.
But titles have switched so much quicker.
But still, he's held more titles than anyone else that's there.
They've switched quicker than Lita's, male partners have.
Call me Lita. But still, I'm just saying, he's had more title reigns than anybody else, including Flair.
He hasn't held more titles than Ric Flair.
Yes, he has.
Flair's held he's held the world title 17 times.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure
Edge has 50 titles to his name.
Yeah, that's because I don't know if you're counting. I don't know if Flair's had any of these mid-card titles or not, though. But
Probably not, because he's, you know.
But does that matter? I mean, like, Lawler's held, like, billions of
He's in the Hall of
league
Fame.
titles. Yeah, it's true, but
I think
he's held more world. Not well. Then again, they don't consider Lawler's titles world title reigns, but they are the championship of that, like the head championship of the league that he was in at the time.
I think he does. I do think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Is it a little early? Maybe, but I do think he does deserve it. I don't think Eddie Guerrero deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Had he lived and done a little bit more, then yeah. But some of these guys, just because you retire, the next year you're in the Hall of Fame. If you die, the next year you're in the Hall of Fame. It's kind of dumb.
Well, I think we all would agree that HBK deserved to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he came in the year after he left.
But if Triple H retires this year,
Right.
like they're talking about, then you know.
They'll put him in there next year. I'm kind of wishy-washy on Edge.
If
Does every World Championship champion though deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? See, I think that's the
because
more
there's
important
plenty of
question.
guys that aren't world
Do you think
champions
that
that are in the
means,
Hall
like-
of Fame. Ricky
like-
Steamboat's in the Hall of Fame, and he never held the
No, I'm saying
title.
does that mean though that every World Champion should be in the Hall of Fame? Like
No.
because that I mean like WWE World Champion.
What if you
I
flew-
guess I split hairs with WCW.
Well, then we put Vince in there, because technically he was...
Oh, I actually see him being in there when he steps down or dies. He'll be in there.
Well, here's
They'll
mine.
induct him.
Here's mine. If they're having a problem now with, like, retiring Taker because he's not one of those guys... They've said for years Taker can't do interviews because the Taker character doesn't...
Right.
And so when he retires, they're,
They can drop kayfabe then though.
Well, they
kind of drop kayfabe
I think
at the
they
Hall
don't
of Fame
want
ceremony.
to. But yeah, the Hall of Fame, or can they induct Undertaker in?
Sure.
I mean...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, once he retires, things are kind of thrown out the window. But, I mean, I guess I agree with Edge. I'm not upset. It's not like the guy didn't work his ass off and stuff. But at the same time, his stuff was fairly memorable, but it's not... I mean, he was... I guess, like, it's like in baseball when they say that, like, you can't look at the guy compared to other wrestlers. Like, I can't compare Edge to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was in a different time period. You compare him to the time period they wrestled in, for instance. Well, when Edge wrestled, he was one of the best guys at the time. You know, he has plenty of memorable feuds. Probably the last good feud that Cena had. I mean, two. Remember the live sex show with him and Lita on Raw? And then,
Sure do.
obviously...
Once again, Lita, call me.
And then once again, like, I mean, all the TLC stuff. I mean, you know, all of that was memorable. And, you know, the funny thing is he led Christian to get his world title, a real good world title reign, when Edge retired, into a decent story. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess his legacy, in some ways, too, is what you got to kind of look at. And he's influenced a lot of the younger guys that are in development, and even guys in WWE now, because he was around that long. His first match, if you remember, was it Savio Vega? He broke his neck?
No,
or knocked him out.
It wasn't Savio Vega. It was one of the members of his
Los
group.
Burritos. Yeah.
Los Burritos.
Los Burritos. But no, I mean, I wish him all the best. It's going to be interesting to see him.
Well, speaking of Hall of Fame, they announced earlier in the week that there's speculation that Yokozuna is going to be announced this week.
Yeah, that he'll be the one that they announce on Monday, tomorrow night.
Which Rock and Macho Man will probably be the
Now that's the question.
last
Do you
two.
think Yokozuna deserves it more than Edge? Yokozuna held, what, 2 or 3 times?
Something like that.
But the belts weren't changed as quick as much back then.
He was also the tag champion.
Right, with Owen, right? Owen Hart?
I mean, he was the first, technically he was the first non-Japanese person to hold the Yokozuna title. That alone, that's impressive.
He wasn't really Yokozuna at all. He wasn't really ever a sumo.
No, I looked that up.
No, he wasn't really a sumo, I don't think.
No, you can look it up.
Are you sure?
It actually was, yeah.
Really? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Aki Bonus the second.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. But outside of that...
God, it shows you how bad my fact-checking.
Outside of that, I mean, what did he really do? How much did he really contribute? He was a bigger version of Earthquake.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, like when Yokozuna was big was when I was, like, right at, like, prime,
let's
kid
do the
age
history
for watching
line.
wrestling.
Yokozuna comes in.
Right.
Yokozuna gets released because...
He was way too overweight.
He put on so much weight. They let him go. They bring him back.
He was in developmental.
He's like twice the weight that he was.
Right.
Jim Ross got him sent to a place for like
Oh yeah, a fat camp kind of thing.
pretty much. He would leave in the middle of the night and go buy like fast food and candy bars. Apparently, he was just addicted to food. They bring him back a couple years later. He did. I think he was there for like maybe a month. He broke the top rope because he weighed so much, and they were like, "Your health is a danger issue." So they released him again. Then apparently he lost a bunch of weight.
Right, really quick.
Was deathly afraid of spiders. Went to was it? Where was it? Did it happen?
I don't
remember. But he was in a hotel, and he had a person hired to go into the hotels to make sure there was no spiders, and the person forgot to do it, and he walked in, apparently saw a spider, and had a heart attack and died. So does any of that sound like it deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
No, but I mean,
I think it's because he's related to The Rock.
well, he's the Samoan, and the Samoan seemed. Are any other Samoans in there?
Well, The Rock, his grandfather. Well, The
Rock's not in the Hall of
His
Fame.
grandfather and his dad.
His dad's black. His dad's not.
The
Samoan.
Samoans.
The Wild Samoans? Are they
Yeah.
in it?
Off and Seiko are in.
Yeah, that's right. They were in a long. They put it a while ago.
They have to
and then
because
High Chief Peter Maivia.
they have to because supposedly, if you watch the Vince McMahon DVD, he talks about in there that he lied to his dad, that he only had half the money to buy the company, and he
Right.
says that he had these backers, and they don't really mention it, but the story for years is that he got the money from the Samoan Mafia, and that's why.
They have. That's
That's
what
why
they
there were so many Samoan wrestlers, and they all got the pushes.
Well, all the Samoans were related for the most part.
Yeah, the whole island.
Well, you know that the funny thing is about
You know that
Samoa is
Spam-
that they're like 50 or 40% more likely to be in the NFL than any other race. Like that. Like I mean, a lot of them are.
They have hard heads.
But if you look at the family though, that isn't wrestling, they are all related for the most part in some form.
Well, do you know where? This is off topic, but it's a fun fact for everyone. So you know what state consumes more spam than any other state?
Hawaii, it should be.
Yes.
They,
Do you know
they
why?
like spam.
Do you know why?
They eat lots of spam. That's why.
No, but do you know why? When World War II happened, and they took all the, families that
Yeah.
most of the Hawaiian families have Japanese origin.
Yeah.
When they had them in the camp, whatever the internment camp or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They would get spam, and they would feed them that, and they
It became
ate
part of
so
their
much
culture.
spam that it became part of their diet.
Makes sense. Well, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the $106 million man. John Cena in 2001 was worth $106 million
To somebody.
to WB. And then people wonder why they don't turn him heel. Makes sense. It's a good business decision.
Not really, because if they're making a lot of money
Just make
off
those
the
Cena
Cena
suck
suck
shirts.
shirts,
Just
then
make those Cena suck shirts. He'll make that 106 go to 120.
yeah, but if
Yeah.
he turns heel and people don't like him, then they can still have the Cena suck shirt.
It's hard for a heel to sell
Then you
that many
sell
shirts.
more of the Cena
No,
suck shirt.
it's hard for a heel to sell that many shirts though. The only ones I can think about are
Hogan.
Rock
Hollywood Hogan.
and the NWO, like a group, because everyone wanted the NWO shirt.
Well,
and then-
DX, because DX were really
DX, but I don't think they were nowhere near as big as the other two.
Austin.
Like, Austin wasn't a heel; he was a
Yes, he-
face.
Not always.
Well, when he did the Austin 316, that's true. He was
Yeah,
a heel,
and
and
those
not
shirts-
everyone had that Austin 316 shirt. Well, I mean, but still, do you think do you think he could be on that caliber as a heel though? Do you think he could be on that caliber?
I don't.
I mean, if everyone calls him the modern,
I don't really care.
But if everyone calls him the modern day Hogan,
I know they
do you
don't.
have them?
I call him the modern day Ultimate Warrior. No one sees it. It's true.
But anyways, do you think that a lot of
Crappy
people,
wrestler that's got really good mic skills that everybody likes. Like he's in a kid demographic, yet you see adults with this stuff.
you're saying Ultimate Warrior had really good mic skills?
Dude, for back then,
That was his promos. He just
For back
spoke
then-
and said weird shit
for
about the
back
heavens.
then, yeah, but a lot of guys, like Don the Rock Morocco did an interview where he's eating donuts. You couldn't even understand what the hell he was saying. For back then, you're a young kid and you're sitting there and like, so-and-so's like, oh, I'm gonna eat your face, and like, whatever. And you're like, wow, guys just yell at each other. And all of a sudden, Warrior gets in there and does interviews where his back's to the camera. And he's like, oh, and he's talking about like aliens
He's
and
all
stuff.
crazy and stuff. Yeah.
As a kid, you're like, this is awesome.
That's a good compliment.
I think that he just played a lot of D&D and was just like, It was crazy, and it was different.
We'll give him that.
Even the stupid Papo Shango, like,
all right.
sludge crap.
Oh, that scared me as a kid. I was petrified when that happened. I was like 10.
This guy.
Dude, it scared me all the time when you're speaking and all of a sudden
The Ultimate Warrior
blood,
speaking,
black blood that's coming down.
Ultimate Warrior speaking should have been enough to scare
Well,
me.
let's go to Hogan then. Supposedly Hogan, for a movie role, is getting his head and his iconic mustache trimmed or shaved off.
So it'll be the cover.
What is he? Is he a cancer patient?
It'll be
this movie role.
It'll be the cover to Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah. So is he a cancer patient? What movie role does need you to cut both your head and then your goatee?
Cut your head?
And your Hulk.
He's got a blade.
And your Hulk Hogan.
Being a wrestler will.
But you're.
Maybe he's playing an alien. Maybe he's playing an old guy. I don't know.
It's probably one of those really
I'm not
bad
his
movies like
agent.
Angle. That one, like all those dumb movies, Angles, and the ones with like Psycho Sid and Nash and apparently Glacier. Why? I mean, what? No, we talked about this though. TNA needs, if he does go through with this, he gets the part. TNA needs to work that in for a story.
There's no better way. Imagine when they did the Vince getting his head shaved.
Mm-hmm.
How much attention that got, and how that boosted Bobby Lashley from like a mid card guy. Because you know when he first came in, he was like kind of a low guy.
Well,
he went to mid card pretty fast, but that automatically in one night, like he went from mid card all the way to the top.
No, yeah, exactly.
So what you do is you work it in as a story angle. You take a guy that you're trying to like build up.
Yep.
For me, like Brian Kendrick would be a good guy to do it with. Have Brian Kendrick like for no apparent reason. You know, they do those stupid segments where like, oh my God, something happened. And they go to the back and like Hogan's already laid out with all the fake blood. Sorry to ruin it for everybody. And he's back there shaving the head and the mustache and people were freaking out. It would make a name for you forever. In the wrestling
they got
business to shave that
you
iconic.
You got to tie that in.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to tie that in with something. Other than that, news-wise?
Well, we also talked about maybe he's doing it so that he can get the hair plugs.
Yeah, maybe Hogan is going to get the full head of hair for the first time in like 30 years.
Well,
Maybe his
that
new
movie he
girlfriend
did
ever
for
wanted it.
TNT where he shaved the mustache, but he had the long hair.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he was like that in Three Ninjas at, was it High Noon Mountain or Kickback? It's the third one. He's the villain in it.
They made
And
3 of those things?
Yeah, they made a third one, and he's the villain. And it was like right when he was in the NWO and he didn't have the mustache, and he had that little short blonde hair. Remember, they gave him the hair in the front.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that they did. And, like, it was a Kickback at High Noon Mountain or something. I mean, it was terrible. The name was dumb, and he had like what looked like a putty from the Power Rangers. He had like this vest X thing that had like a thing in the center.
Let me go look up Angry Video Game Nerd and we'll find out which one it was.
So
Nostalgia Critic.
yeah,
Oh God.
I think he did. He might have did that one. No, it might have been Power Driving Critique, the really good guy that reviews wrestling entertainment videos and stuff. Yeah, I think he might have did that movie, but it's
Which, if you
garbage.
scroll to the bottom of our screen,
on Blip, we suggested him as something that's a companion, I would say, to us in a lot of ways.
he's our companion.
He's our companion. He doesn't know it yet, but he's our he's the third member of the group.
We're gonna make him airtight.
He's the third member. He's the third member.
Like in G.I. Joe, airtight. God, get your mind out of the gutter.
All right, well, we got one more news clip to talk about.
We do.
It involves a 300-pound guy with a chin-strap beard.
That
Dancing
somebody
to a disco
likes
ball.
that I don't.
All right, Brodus Clay. I loved it.
Well, no, you skipped.
I loved it.
You skipped it. It was
Oh,
Jericho
Cry.
Cry's
We already
first-
talked. You said you liked it. I didn't like it. I just want to know what the hell's going on.
I
here.
didn't say I liked Jericho crying. I just want him to talk.
You said you liked it.
No, I didn't say I liked it.
You said it was a great thing from a great promo guy. You said that at the start of the video.
What?
You did. You did.
Rewind back and you'll see I was making fun of it, jackass.
Sound like you're serious. Well,
Somebody doesn't get sarcasm.
Brodus Clay.
If you guys leave comments, explain sarcasm to this guy.
They can't. They'll be too sarcastic.
Then
That was
you won't,
sarcasm.
but you won't know. You'll think they're serious.
It's true. I love the Brodus Clay. It was a gimmick.
I mean-
It's something. We
You
already
mean-
have a ton of the big men.
You mean Run DM Clay?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one now. Seriously, man, why? It's awesome. And this big,
It's
goofy,
fucking terrible.
It's great.
It's PN News for the
No,
new.
it's good.
Oh.
It's good, dude. We need guys that have gimmicks and characters.
No, we don't.
You like the guy that he beat up on Raw. The guy just his gimmick is he carries a cane.
He's awesome.
He carries a cane. That's his gimmick.
It's not just a cane.
No, there's no character involved.
Yes, there is. It talks. Watch the
they-
watch the cartoons.
No one watches the cartoons. Everyone makes fun of them. They're bad. I like it. It's not funny.
Well, neither is a fucking
Curtis Clay is entertaining.
big fat guy
He's
dressed
great.
in a bright
He
red
wrestled on
outfit
SmackDown too
with an
against
Amish beard.
Tyson Kidd. I like it, man. It's great.
You would.
I like that he has the two dancers that come out with
Tell him some of the other stuff that you liked, and they'll understand.
him. No.
Mr. Mark Henry, Mr. John.
I don't like Mark Henry much anymore.
Oh my God, you're so.
I did there
fickle.
for a while. No, because
You're
he can't
so
speak
fickle.
anymore.
He couldn't speak ever.
Well, he needed a manager. I said that.
He was
many
always
times on the show.
and you're like, beef makes sugar.
Juice makes sugar. Wonton beef stew.
Yes.
Fun with Ahmed. No,
They need to do fun with.
they need
Mark
more
Henry.
gimmicks to separate these guys. Like Clay was going to be basically another Mark Henry. And the other weird thing is, why he was on both Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
What show is he on? Are
Okay.
there even brands anymore?
No.
I don't think there is.
Okay, look at it this way. All right, we're gonna take old meets new. Could be another segment. Old meets new.
Well, we kind of need a segment. Let's.
All right, it's
need a
called
segment.
Old Meets New. You'll see it pop on the bottom of the screen. Work for you.
Well, you should do it too.
I could do it. It's just writing. How do you spell old? No. So anyway, imagine if Andre the Giant, before they made him, the singlet wearing Andre the Giant that most people knows, back when he had the old afro and he, wore the vest, if they would have signed Andre, who's this, big guy, back in that period, everybody was like, man, nobody can beat this guy, and he pretty much was undefeated until Hogan. But they would have been like, well, you got this afro. We're going to make you this disco guy. Disco's popular. We're going to make you a disco guy. The Andre the Giant that faced Hogan at WrestleMania, that match never would have happened. Because people would have been like, man, this guy's a clown shoe, and nobody would ever take him serious. So, yeah, that's pretty much, we don't always need gimmicks.
All right. Well, I think we do. There's a lack of gimmicks. Gimmicks don't have to be over the top. Now this one is, but they don't have to be. Everybody's got a name. They're just a name. I am Doug Johnson. My name is, I have tattoos. My gimmick is I have tattoos. I wear small trunks and I beat people up. That's everybody's
Works
gimmicks
for
right
me.
now for the most part. Not me.
Well, here's the
Why do you
thing.
think I can't watch ROH? It's not that entertaining.
Everybody doesn't need gimmicks because
but most people do. And no
Okay.
one has them right now.
Most
outside of-
people don't need gimmicks
Clay.
because we don't need to go back to where everybody had to have a day job.
They don't have to have
You don't
a day
make
job.
money. You don't.
No.
Apparently, you don't make a lot of money in wrestling, so you have to have a day job.
Well, you don't make much money in
I'm
wrestling.
talking about even in WWE.
Depending on who you are. Duke the Dumpster Grossi probably didn't make much
That's what
money.
I'm saying. We don't need any more Duke Dumpster Drosies. We don't need
Ain't
any more.
knuckleball shorts to get
we
the
don't
money.
need
Baseball's
games.
on strike.
We don't need him.
Jeez.
We don't need Brooklyn Brawlers. We don't
I
need
don't know.
plumbers.
Brooklyn
We
Brawler-
don't need.
Brooklyn Brawler was a gimmick. That was not a day job.
He was a homeless guy during the day.
No, he wasn't.
That's what he did.
He looked like it, but
He was an underground street fighter, I guess. is
That's
what
good.
The Brooklyn Brawler was supposed
All
to be.
right.
But
I'm
besides
going
the
to tell
point,
you want every guy. So Kurt Hawkins can't talk to a cane. That's a gimmick.
he doesn't. The cane talks to him.
The cane can't talk to him. He can't even carry the cane. Kane can't wear a mask because wearing the mask is a gimmick. The Rock was the cockiest SOB like ever, really, and that was a gimmick. They are gimmicks. They do not have to be over the top.
But what I'm
some can
saying-
be, some work for guys. Rikishi's worked for a long time.
No, not
Rikishi's
with
worked
me.
for a while. Yeah, not for you, but it worked
I
in
want to see
general.
a big fat dimply ass.
Dude, it worked for a
If
while.
I wanted to see that, then I'd look at one of your ex-girlfriends.
But there's a lot of other like gimmicks that Hulk Hogan was a gimmick.
Okay, well,
Ultimate Warrior was a gimmick.
normal gimmicks. but we
Randy
don't-
Savage was a gimmick.
Normal gimmicks, but we don't need. We're past the era of Funk Flash and The Godfather. For some
like
people,
it.
we aren't. Because
No.
you're looking at it through nostalgia glasses.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're in that wrestling bubble, Jim Cornette. You need to get out of it.
No.
It's 2012, and there's nobody running around.
That's why the ratings are in the dumper, and that's why pay-per-view sales are much lower than they've been pretty much since they've done pay-per-view, since like In Your House.
I really
Come on,
don't think
no, it's
I really
terrible.
don't think a fat guy with an Amish mustache coming out in a rap outfit is really going to boost ratings.
It can if everyone takes that initiative to try.
Okay, so
It takes a company-wide effort.
so this guy's idea is everybody in WWE go out and buy yourself a red jumpsuit, a stupid hat, shave
I said
into
a
little
gimmick.
Amish beard. You
I
said the same
gimmicks.
gimmick.
No,
so
I did
everybody
not say
do it
same
in
gimmick.
the
I said everyone
next
needs
week.
gimmicks, and they gotta work together as a company. That's why WWE survived through the
Okay.
mid '90s, because they decided as a group that we're going to start being more characters, and
You
we're going to
throw
have
out-
different developing characters.
You throw
That's
out,
why it works.
You throw out one gimmick, and I'll throw out one gimmick.
Like make up a gimmick, right now.
To pick a person, throw a gimmick for him that'll help him out.
I gotta pick a wrestler.
No, you got to pick that guy across the street. Yes,
So maybe it could work. Harvey Whippleman seemed like a guy that was just picked off the street.
he still works for him.
Let's see. Damn it! I gotta think of somebody in. I want to think of somebody in the mid card though.
I'm going the opposite direction.
Well, the main event guys need it. All right, I'll go with Orton. We'll go with the high end
All right,
guy.
what's his gimmick? He's a cowboy.
No, he needs to be the Legend Killer again. That was a gimmick.
Okay,
He doesn't
but
have
he's
a gimmick
already
now.
had that. You got to give him a new gimmick.
All right, well then I'll pick someone else because.
someone else because I can't think anything original.
No, Orton just needs to go back to that gimmick. That was a gimmick that worked.
Yeah, but he
It's
has
a
to
good
be a
gimmick.
heel.
That's fine.
The worst for me too, but
Cena
WWE
needs a good heel to work with anyways if they're going to push Cena. Or imagine a good Legend Killer Orton versus CM Punk. That won't be bad. That'd be pretty decent.
Why would he go against CM Punk? CM Punk's not a legend.
Well, you could say. Well, actually, you could tie it to that. You could say that
He's the future legend killer?
no, he's going to be the future legend.
Oh, did you read about
Take him out.
Ryback?
No. Oh,
Be on the lookout for Ryback. Way better. They should have just brought him in and
See, that's a good
screw. Yeah, but a good one.
All right.
What's your gimmick? Who's your guy? What's your gimmick?
I actually thought. Now, this is something I thought about for a video game a while ago.
Here we go.
Now, I know you're not going to like this one because this one's pretty out there.
Oh God, Hornswoggle is Mega Man.
That would work. It could work. No, a NASCAR heel tag team.
Oh my God! So Bob Holly and who's going to be his partner?
And well, when we Bob Hall, we'll two young guys.
You in fucking NASCAR?
No. You have a tag team. This is the straight tag team. They're only in tag matches and stuff. They come out. They look like the pit crew or what the drivers wear, like
And they
the
can
full
only-
racing suit,
they
fire
can-
suits.
And they can only like go to the left side of the ring. So if the guy runs to the right, fucked.
NASCAR drives to the right. NASCAR drives to the right. They got
Okay.
road courses. No, so
Well,
they're
then
a
he can
tag
only
team.
work on the right side. Of
One
the ring.
guy's the small or shorter guy, and then you got the
Bob Holly.
big like guys like 6'7" or 6'8".
Brock Lesnar.
And
Holly
they're-
and Lesnar,
they
they're both
when they
redneck.
come to the ring, they wear like the fire suit looking, and they have like a design on the jackets. Like if you look at Daniel Bryan's jacket that he wears, it kind of looks like
So-
something you see at a speed race.
So basically, your
So you
gimmick.
have-
So your gimmick
they're
is
NASCAR
Talladega Nights,
no, they're serious.
WWE.
No, and they're a heel. That's why that's the thing. You make them a heel. You just make them that
That's
like
gonna
the
get
typical.
people. That's the quote. The
That'd
quote-
be a perfect way to get a face over is to be having beat up NASCAR guys because guys like you would love it. You would love to see the NASCAR guys get their shit
No,
kicked
I
out of
would
them.
much rather see no NASCAR guys at all.
We need heels that people
To
hate.
quote a famous
NASCAR
quote,
tag.
that'll really put asses in the seat.
Well,
My gimmick.
we saw what happened when that happened.
My gimmick, and I'm going the opposite direction. My gimmick is for John Cena, and the gimmick is learn to fucking wrestle.
That's not a gimmick.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't have to be.
Yes.
It didn't work for Dean Malenko.
Why not?
Didn't work for Lance Storm.
Because
They learned to wrestle, but they didn't.
they're missing the key ingredient that Cena already has.
They
and
can
that's
speak?
Yes.
I'll give you that.
If I could be serious for a moment.
Well, I think we just made our two segments out of thin air because we forgot to talk about it before the show. So
Segment 1 is pulling shit out of our ass. Segment
it's like a
2.
popsicle with like.
So we got what? The Hogan thing?
No. We did our gimmick thing, and then we old versus new. We were taking
Oh.
something old and applying it to something that happened in the new, like Brodus Clay gimmick, but apparently given to Andre the Giant.
Exactly. It would have been terrible,
All
just
right.
like it is now.
Well,
So does that
Let's-
lead us into...
Top 5. No, our top 5.
Which, before we do the top 5, I got an honorable mention. A guy that made an appearance. We hadn't seen him in a while. He didn't make the top 5, but apparently you hate him because he's got a gimmick, and that is Kurt Hawkins. Dude, he's part of the Clique.
Actually, I think
the new Clique.
The new Clique. The
And
one
that's
that's the
what
one
they
that's
show.
never gonna. What are they gonna do? Start boning Triple H's daughter when she gets 18? To when?
Well, if they're like Macho Man, they might have to wait till she's 18.
Well, supposedly. It's not supposedly that.
Yeah, underage. Yeah.
we're gonna get in trouble for that one, maybe. Now, what's your number 5 then?
I didn't say he did.
Yes, you did.
I implied it.
No, you said.
Who's
like
my
you
number
did.
5?
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
Why is he on there?
Because I'm waiting. He'll shoot up.
You're really anticipating this.
I'm a huge Jericho fan.
Yeah, but
Everything he's done has been pure gold. I know this is going to be pure
you
gold.
think that there's
Once the writers are like, I think this is my
I think
honest.
they know. I think they know that
I
when
don't.
they're going.
My honest opinion is Vince told him, make these videos, we're bringing somebody. They didn't tell him exactly who it was. They're like, make it kind of vague because we're not sure exactly things could fall through. Then they're like, it's for Jericho. So they're like, okay. And they started hiding little things in there. And then Vince comes to him and was like, okay, Jericho's debuting on this Monday. What's he going to say? And they're like, what? We spent all this time writing this build-up stuff. We didn't even think about what happens when he debuts. And I think that's what's going on. They pretty much are sitting there now
It's
like...
possible.
They're like, we wrote ourselves into a corner because we made it... People so anticipate this thing, and now we don't know what to do.
Well, he wrestled.
Which really, you know
on
what?
a house show against Jamie.
He
Noble.
didn't wrestle.
No, he just
He
did.
did do that? Okay,
Against
because
Jamie
I know...
Washington. I think it was in Washington.
well,
Bellevue.
he had that where he came out, didn't
Right.
say anything.
And he beat up Otunga.
Carlton.
Carlton. Yeah. Well, see, that's a gimmick. That's a good gimmick. I like Otunga's gimmick.
Somebody needs to call him Carlton.
I'm actually surprised no one has it yet because he definitely looks like a jacked up Carlton. My number 5, I'm going to go with the TNA guy for the first time in a while.
Is that still on?
It is still on. It is Sting.
Who?
Sting.
Well, I might as well put him on the list while you can. He's retiring.
Well, the reason why is I decided to watch Impact this week, and to my
How do you decide to watch Impact?
because it's like a chore.
It's usually, I'm flipping through the channels and it's like, oh.
Wrestling's on.
Oh, wow. Well, if you want to call it that.
No, actually, the whole last hour was nothing but wrestling. But the stupid thing was, it was rematches from the pay-per-view that ended in screw jobs. The 2 final matches.
Wait.
Why cannot...
Whoa, I'm shocked.
I know,
TNA
right.
pay-per-view, it's a
Screw
TNA
job
pay-per-view where every match ends in screw jobs? Oh my god.
So they give away these
Shocked.
matches that actually have fairly clean endings, or at least some kind of resolution, when they should have done the pay-per-view and built up to it. Whatever, it was dumb. But however, Sting is like the TNA general manager, runner of Impact right now. He wears like black pants, and he's wearing like what looks like a stereotypical like long shirt. Looks like it's a jail shirt, like the black and white like stripes. And he's got sunglasses, and he's got his hair slicked back. He looks like
He's coming
He
to
looks
your
like a-
town in a pink Cadillac.
he looks like a little bigger version of Jimmy Hart. Speaking of things like that, it reminds me. It looks like Jimmy Hart a little bit, but he's crazy. He like makes fun of people, and he starts like he got up in Madison Rain's face and started going, "Yeah, let's have a steel cage. You and Gail Kim, yeah, steel cage." And he's like going crazy. It was actually funny.
You know what
and
that
you know,
sounds
he
like?
wasn't wrestling.
You know what
He
that
wasn't-
sounds like to me? They're ribbing Jim Cornette.
Yeah, maybe, but I liked it. Yeah, I don't think so, but it was fun. It was fun seeing Sting do something different and TNA actually doing something that was. Actually, Sting's done pretty decent TNA recently. I didn't mind the Joker stuff. He has a track history of ripping off gimmicks from movies. So, I mean,
Yeah, RoboCop is a tag team partner.
see exactly. He's tied to the movie industry more than he is in wrestling, I guess. What's your number 4?
Edge.
All right, well that makes sense. That's right. Mine.
I decided that there's a theme for my top 5 since
We all doing. You doing a Horseman from here on out? And
no, since all of them since last week, all of them pretty much were Japanese wrestlers. I'm gonna pronounce all the guys this week in Japanese names.
all right, mine
Edge.
is R-Truth. That segment with the La Cucaracha, that was really fun.
Yeah.
And he was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
It's funny.
You gonna get got.
He's funny, man.
Yeah. He's awesome.
We'll go on to number.
It's a lot better character than, in TNA. Don't smoke, children.
Yeah, pretty much.
Number three. I'm trying to think in my head how to pronounce him in Japanese. So, Ken. And he's on the list for putting Cena where he belongs, in the trash. Sorry, that's your favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, we took out Zack Ryder too and threw him on some skids.
Yeah, but it's Zack Ryder. Without Zack Ryder, there'd be no Cena right now.
At least the nice thing is they're at least giving a mid-card guy a little bit of a rub.
So
I don't think it's a bad rub.
I
either.
heard Zack Ryder's back is hurt
I didn't
from
hear that.
carrying Cena for the last couple weeks.
Oh, that's possible. Kane might be having a back hurting from them guys too. Then
He's got to carry both of them.
kinda.
That's why he's got the Rocketeer mask.
I'll go. My number 3 would be the world heavyweight champion Daniel Bryan for his.
That if you guys look back, that I was putting on lists and getting crap for, and now
Well, now he's got this weird pseudo heel turn where he can't. He knows that he's going to lose to the Big Show pretty much, so he's got to figure out a way out of it every match.
There is
like in this weird
there is
DQ
a way out of it. They said that the match is no count out, no DQ, right?
Mhm.
Use that to your advantage. You can't get disqualified.
No, but the match on Raw he had to get out of because it wasn't a no DQ. It was a DQ.
yeah, but that's what I'm
And
saying.
the match before
The next one is no count out, no DQ.
It happened. It was on SmackDown.
Yes, it did.
It did. It happened.
Is that show still on?
They need to get rid of that show. That would actually think that helped WWE really figure things out a lot more if they only had one show. It's gonna get worse to the network. I have a feeling they might go to another show.
You know what's messed up? You know they only have 3 writers?
Well, I think it's 3 writers per show. I think
And
they have 3. And 3.
Rajing Singh is actually... No,
Yeah.
they have 3 writers, period.
I think they have more than that now.
Nope, I looked it up. They have 3 writers, and Rajing Singh is the head writer.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, because the writers, basically, they have 2 guys listed for SmackDown, and they have 1 guy listed for Raw.
Interesting. No, SmackDown doesn't need.
2 writers?
No,
They do.
no.
1 guy's got to write for...
Is one guy got to write, and then one guy's got to figure out how to edit it together on
No,
TV so
one-
it looks like coherent?
1 guy's got to write, and then the other guy's got to dumb it down for the talent. That's what happens when you hire writers from Nickelodeon. All your characters sound like SpongeBob.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. This will be an easy one to pronounce in Japanese. Kaz Hayashi.
Said that weird, but that's
Hayashi.
okay.
I tried to Americanize his name since he was Japanese.
I guess so.
Asshole. Then he got it.
And why'd you pick Kaz Hayashi of all random?
Because he was in that match. I didn't want to put Muto back on, and I was between him and Akibono.
Yeah.
So
Akebono wrestles
I like-
All Japan.
I like Kaz.
Two.
I've always liked him.
He said, well, those two are in a 6-man tag.
Plus, he was in the
With
Lucha Libre
Hayashi.
USA game. He was the only Japanese person in it.
That's right. He was. No, Kenzo's in that. Kenzo Suzuki.
Oh, that's who I was thinking. Not Kaz Hayashi.
Yeah, Kenzo.
What-
Which he wrestled on that All Japan show too. Which I guess, time traveling wise, it technically was yesterday, I believe, by Eastern
Well,
Standard Time. It happened today
is it
at
a-
1:15.
Is it okay if I change? Because that's who I meant. I got him confused.
All right, Kenzo.
I mean, Kaz
Suzuki.
Hayashi is okay, but...
Kenzo, as he's called.
Kenzo Sasaki.
All right. Well,
That's who I meant.
my number 2.
I'm not WWE. I'm not Vince. I don't think they all look alike. But the 2 of them are easily like...
No, they aren't. They don't look anything alike.
Well,
I
to
don't
me
think
they
they do.
did, just because I got confused.
Apparently.
Should have just put...
You know, I'm
Akibono
putting that in
on
the
there.
description that Mick confuses 2 Japanese guys for the same person.
At least I didn't fart on camera.
That's okay. So number 2, that happens to the best of us. Number 2.
Speaking of
for
number
me,
2, who's your number 2?
my number 2 is Dolph Ziggler
Oh, go figure.
because he's been great. And
That means your
yes,
number 1
overall-
is Jack Swagger.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now we'll have some fun with number 1. No, Ziggler has been great. He's been wrestling on Raw at a lot of the main events, or anything around the main events. He's on the main event this week.
WCW main event?
No, that was TNA. I have come to the conclusion that TNA is WCW when they were like in the Universal Studios. I mean, it's exactly that same feel. I'm waiting for Rick Rude to come out somehow, even though he's dead, and they cheer for him when they're supposed to boo. I don't know how they would do that, but they'll figure out a way. Number 1.
Do you even have to
Is
ask?
it CM Punk? Because why? What did he do this week?
They had that amazing match.
Oh, that's true. He did have that match with
Against-
Swagger.
Anybody that can carry Swagger through a match anymore.
Swagger's not bad, though.
He's not good either.
I don't know if
Mr. I wish I was Kurt Angle.
Kinda.
I
He's like a lanky
see, that's
Kurt Angle.
that's the
He's
gimmick.
like really lean.
That's your gimmick. You said more guys need gimmicks. That's the gimmicks. You got all these new guys coming in, and they're just basically like picking guys that they idolized and imitating them. You got Dolph
They
Ziggler.
kind of are. But
Dolph Ziggler is Billy Gunn.
But Ziggler's just becoming his own, though. Like when he did the headlock and did a headstand.
I'm not saying you
He's
can't.
being cocky.
You can't
He's
take.
being good.
Hogan's gimmick was superstar Billy Graham, and he
That's
took
true.
it further
Well,
than superstar
Flair,
Billy
we got
Graham.
Flair, you know, played
But,
with Buddy Rogers.
But yeah, you got Dolph Ziggler as Billy Gunn. You
Nature
got
Boy.
Dude, we could make a movie, WWE the movie, and it's like Billy Gunn played by Dolph Ziggler, Kurt Angle played by
Jack
Swagger, Taz played by it's almost TNA like, but yeah, Taz played by your new best buddy,
Number 1.
Brodus Clay. Are you
My
freaking-
number 1. I'm glad you tied it in that way. Thank you.
I didn't mean
Thank
to.
you. My number 1 is
We should've
Brodus
been-
Clay.
Oh god.
Brodus Clay. It was completely different. The internet was
It
just
wasn't
all
completely
over
different.
it. Was talking about it. It got people interested. I loved it. I loved it. Whether you have an opinion, yes or no about it, it's gotten people to look at it. I love it. I love it. He needs to do a little bit more. I think maybe on Monday he needs to speak a little bit. Just
I don't
after
understand-
he squashes probably Kurt Hawkins again
I don't
or Jamie
understand-
Noble maybe.
Okay, obviously this wasn't a gimmick that they ran through the music department because then they would have told him that there's a difference between funk music and rap music.
Yeah. Well, also it's the Cats music from like early SmackDown, like 2002, somewhere around there. It was the Cat.
I'm just gonna mess
Ernest the Cat Miller.
just messing with people.
Oh, this is getting kind
We
of.
had to. Anyone getting seasick yet? You had to specify because there were 2 cats. Because remember,
Ernest the Cat Miller. That's true. Yeah, the woman, the female, the Jerry Lawler's.
that's how you refer to. It's how in real life.
The
That's how
cat
it
female,
refers
the
to
cat
people.
male. It's like how Wikipedia.
Women.
It's like how Wikipedia would say it. But like the
We're
cat.
walking down the
woman.
street and he's like, look at that woman over there working. Women shouldn't be allowed to work. See? You like the Brodus Clay? You're so behind.
I'm not behind.
You need to freaking step into the 20th century.
But
And
we're
then
in the
when you-
21st, man.
I know. But you're already back.
You had to cover that there, didn't
No, I
you?
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You're so far back that the 20th century is new to you. You're
Just-
like, microwaves!
Just because my group, my contingency created the cotton gin and the steamboat.
Dude, sometimes when I have
Mm.
conversations with
It's
you about
weird.
like new stuff, I feel like I'm talking to a World War II vet.
That's okay. I would prefer to be talked like a World War II vet.
Call
Ben.
people zipper heads. What's wrong with you?
Well, I think
On
we
that
better-
note,
on that note, we better get out of here because this is getting kind
are
of.
we gonna
sad.
time it right this time?
Yeah. So stay tuned. Go to WrestlingRingPost.com. See what other videos we got up, and I'm sure there'll be something.
We're out.
See ya.